How's everybody doing? Here's a couple of quick hints for Wave the Hunter. Starting off at number one, know your need zones. Very important when you're scouting. Find all those drinking and eating zones. What I like to do is, depending on what I'm hunting, I'll click on the little animals and then I will add some tracking markers to where I need to go. Fast travel out to that spot. Number two is be stealthy at anything under 150 meters. Most animals, including elk, are quite skittish in this game. Number three, if you're not finding a lot of luck where you're currently hunting, probably best to move on over and try a different location. Animals are quite hit and miss on where they're going to be in this game, so plan accordingly. Scouting really pays off. And then once you're there, really take the time to scan. This game has phenomenal rendering distance, which allows you to see animals quite a ways out. On PS5, I think I've spotted up to 650 meters. I know some PC players go way beyond that. So just take the time to take a look around and maybe plan out what your next move is going to look like. Now, with that said, you're not always going to see a lot of stuff out there. So very important in this game to be as humanly patient as possible. There's going to be long stretches where you're not going to see any animals, and that is just fine. Take in the scenery, do some scouting. You know, it's all going to pay off in the end when you're mounting that 5-star up on the mantle. Moving on to the next tip. Whenever you see a targeted range, it's very important to mark it. Now, I like doing this with my binoculars. Just a quick tap of R1 or right bumper if you're on Xbox will allow you to plan your approach onto your target. As you can see, there's quite a herd out there, so the closer you get, I think at around 280, you can start identifying what the species are. And as you're approaching, also very important to check your wind direction. So on the bottom right, you'll have, the direction the wind's blowing in, also the force of the wind. So if you go to the world map, you can also check to see how far out animals could potentially pick your scent up, but just something to be mindful of as you're planning in your angle of attack on the herd or animal you're trying to hunt. Tip number 8 is choosing your target. So not all herds are the same. I'm not going to get into the whole trophy system here, but if you see a herd that's overpopulated with young males, not a terrible idea to take some of them out. Or if your herd is predominantly female, probably won't hurt you to take out a couple of those mature ones, leaving the younger ones to the side for now. That's a good segue into number 9, managing the herd. Essentially what I just finished covering there. You want to make sure you have a good balance of the most genetically superior males and enough females to ensure that the herd will continue to grow. So 1-star matures are apt targets, but in this case, there's a lot of females, so I opted for one of them. Now, one thing that I didn't do at the start of this game that I'm doing a lot now is starting to use the collars. Unlike other hunting games I've played, these work quite well. The secret is there's not really an info section on how to use them properly. So after coming across a couple of good threads on Reddit, I found out that after your first use of the collar, there'll be that little sliding bar at the bottom. And what you want to do is you want to wait for that arrow to get right in the middle of the bar and then use the collar again. So what that's going to do is give you the best possible opportunity to have a female called in, and that's what we're looking for in this game. So there you go, and we should be getting a response back anytime now. There it is. Perfect. Oh, who's caller there? Now here comes the fun part we've all been waiting for, taking your shot. So really important to mark your distance. Zeroing is huge in this game, so make sure that whenever you do have your target lined up, you're marking the approximate shot location so you can track the blood if you do manage to hit it, and make sure that your rifle is zeroed in at the correct distance. Otherwise, you risk shooting too low or too high and ruining your day. So what I like to do if it's a head-on shot is aim for the center of mass on the animal. And as you see, this female is not giving me a good look just yet. She may stop yet. There she goes. So we'll take what we can get. She jumped, which is always a good sign. Now, what I also didn't do at the start of this game, and I'm starting to do now, is tracking where they're going. So as you can see, she's injured. heading off into those shrubs over there on the left-hand side. And it was a good idea too to kind of check out where the rest of the herd is heading, especially in these open areas. You may be able to get a pop shot off at another one once you have claimed your kill. So in this case, we got those whitetails are about 250 meters off to the southwest, so maybe worth investigating after I find this deer. Now, I am recording this session after the fact, and this is a little bit embarrassing, but tracking in this game has proven to be quite a challenge in comparison to other hunting games I've played. So I kind of like it, but it is frustrating and a little bit embarrassing, and as you're going to see here in a couple of seconds. So here we are walking up to the original marker before we took the shot. There we go. That's not the initial hit. So we know that she went off to the southwest with the herd. And trying to find the original blood splatter here. And there we go. Looks like it was a lung shot. So always good to scan. Pink blood usually meaning a lung shot, which is good. What I just did right there too, you'll see a little comment popping up in the not too distant future, is tag the blood with your markers as you go. So you can do that by pulling up the rifle scope and tapping R1, and it just gives you a good sense of the last blood spotter that you did identify. Not so much of an issue in fields, but in deep woods, it makes all of the difference in the world. Now, right here, I walk right over. Don't know what I was looking at. I'm standing on top of the deer right now. Completely missed her. So, yep, standing on top of the doe, pivoting around. Where'd she go? I don't know. Now, there's a bit of debate on the use of photo mode in this game. Personally, I don't like using it whenever I'm hunting unless I'm looking for waterfowl, which I can find to be quite annoying in this game. But if you're looking for an animal that you've already shot, I don't mind busting it out. Apologies. I find it quite helpful, actually. Although, if you're standing directly on top of the animal that you're trying to recover, probably not so much of a help, but definitely worth the time to scout around, especially if you're looking for a 5-star that you don't want to lose. But eventually, yeah, this just goes right back to following the trail of blood. I eventually do recover this doe. And yeah, that's it for my first video. So would like to thank everybody for watching, and don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Thank you.